Hey everyone, and welcome to the next episode of the Best of 3 Call of Duty Esports Podcast. I'm your host, Josh SalvationsElite. To my right is Sam, _BO3 on Twitter. And to our farthest right, that right side of the screen, your left side of the screen, is Rex, ShadyNero. Guys, before anything else, how you guys doing in this quarantine?
Oh my goodness, Josh. I've been working out so much inside just to get rid of that pent-up energy.
That's awesome.
By the end of the week, I'm going to be like the next Hercules.
Wow.
That's how I'm
Okay.
Wow.
That's how I'm doing.
We got
during
Dwayne "The
this
Rock" Johnson
quarantine.
over here.
I love it.
Sam, are you Dwayne?
No, I don't know. The opposite of Dwayne.
You know Doug Sensor Martin, huh?
I know Doug Sensor Martin. Doing good
man.
though.
You're like a 15-year-old Doug Sensor Martin.
Yes.
Rex is gonna be the 24-year-old Doug Sensor Martin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So we're all out here quarantined, except for me. You know, it's like what five people rooms now. We're still good in here. Rex is
I
out.
think we're still good.
Out of far, so we're still doing all right. Eventually, we might have to do this online or something. I don't know
Yeah.
what's gonna happen. If the thing
Yeah.
gets worse
Crazy.
and worse, but we'll see. With that said, that's not COD related at all. I mean,
No, it's
today
not.
we're going over, as you guys saw from the title, we're doing a ROSTERMANIA Redraft today and going over some of the biggest news. Prestinni officially benched
Whoa.
by the
Weird.
Mutineers.
What in the world?
So we got lots to talk about today, man. So before anything else, of course, we do appreciate you guys' reviews on the next podcast.
Thank you.
We'll be reading some fantastic reviews from you guys. We always do appreciate those, and so drop them down below if you want to be on the next episode of the podcast. Of course, 5 stars means a lot on Apple Podcasts.
Yes.
And any comments down below on YouTube helps the podcast grow as well. Hit a like as well if you're on YouTube, and we do appreciate that. But with that said, man, I guess we can basically go straight into the news. We're still waiting on news from the COD League on an official schedule for what the rest of the year is going to be like. It kind of feels like they might be waiting out the news themselves.
Yeah.
And trying to get a better grasp for when this thing could dial down or how they want to do it for the rest of the year. So no news on that front yet when it comes to scheduling, but we do have news when it comes to rosters. The past few weeks, we were a little bit behind on covering the London Royal Ravens news, which happened about maybe a week and a half ago.
Yes.
Nastiee, the Royal Ravens, benched rated for Nastiee at this point. Although the issue is that as far as we know, Nastiee hasn't been able to make the trip to the United States because of the travel bans. So they've had, so he's been scrimming from the UK at this point with the team. Obviously, the Ravens are in the United States here, so it can create for some problems when it comes to connection and everything else. So what's your guys' opinion on Rated being benched? And where you guys at with London now? Like, is it an improvement overall? Rex?
Honestly, I mean, London were looking okay, and then I just don't know enough about Nastiee to be like, oh, what a great switch to do that. I just have to see him play now.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the right move. I thought Rated was doing okay. I didn't think he was like some crazy weak link for their team, but I don't know.
It's weird. Like that team was like on the verge of greatness. So like every event.
I mean, I think they can feel it. That's probably why they made the change.
I know, but it's like, do you make the change or do you keep pressing on in hopes that greatness emerges? But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard. I think there's just pros and cons to each side, but kind of like Rex was saying, Nastiee, I don't know anything, but so
yeah, I mean, he's really new to the scene. So he basically was unknown until last year in Black Ops 4. He is 20 years old, so he's not like a
super
18-year-old,
but he is.
But he is pretty new to the scene. I mean, he really didn't pop up until last year. He was like on Lightning Pandas and a few other rosters, just like when you look through his page, and so he really is pretty new to the scene. I mean, up until Modern Warfare, he was teaming in the Europeans Cup at the end of last year in October with some of the current Singularity guys like Detain and Insight and those guys, Shawnee and Quicker. He was playing with on Celtic at COD Champs last year and Bance. So that's kind of like the connections there for why.
Gotcha.
Or Celtic. I'm not sure how they went by at Champs, but I reffed them and they were chill. But I completely agree with you guys. I think it was needed for a change, but we haven't seen enough of Nastiee this year. I mean, he was on Train Hard Esports for the London Open, which they got second at with Whalers, Sukri, and Kiza and Linny. So he's had success, and that's why he got picked up. They won the Paris Open on War, of course, with Vortex, with Vortex Dave and Denza and Nastiee. So, or with PD, sorry. And so he's had success. I mean, a first and a second in the last 2 tournaments. So it's just going to depend on whether or not that clicks with London. I think overall it makes sense that they had to make a move, and Nastie's a pretty interesting choice. So I'm looking forward to how to see that plays out. Hopefully we can see how it's going to play out sooner than later. But I mean, in an online league, if the travel ban stays in place, you can't play with a 200 ping player in Europe, can you?
Know. Yeah.
I mean, how do you think that's going to play out?
He can't even travel. So like, yeah, I don't know.
Right. So I mean, at this point, if it's going to be an online league, like, do you really roll out a guy who's playing on 200 plus ping in your starting lineup, like in an online league?
Man.
There's no way, right?
But then does Rated want to play for you after being dropped?
After being dropped, it's an awkward situation, man. It's real rough timing.
It's
You
weird.
hate to see it.
Yeah.
So that is definitely something we're going to keep an eye on, and for sure update you guys the second that we see more and more gameplay from Nastiee and how London's playing as a whole. So we'll keep you guys updated on that. The other move, of course, that was kind of big news this week was Prestinni finally announcing that him not playing was because it wasn't his decision anymore.
Jeez.
And if you guys know the backstory there, leading into LA, he said that he was going to take an event off because he needed to for personal reasons. Supposedly it was mental health related. But we're really not sure. He's been pretty vague on the whole situation. His teammates have too. So Fero got picked up to replace him. Basically, 3 days before?
Jeez, yeah,
Los Angeles
within the week,
within the week, or maybe 5 days before Los Angeles. Yeah, Fero was picked up to replace him for the event, which at the time was supposed to be a temporary substitution, and has now apparently turned into a somewhat permanent substitution. So they decided to bench Prestinni. They decided they're letting Havoc, Frosty, Mox, who definitely all 3 of them weren't playing great Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Are still in the starting lineup. I mean, what do you guys think about that, Rex?
I think Prestinni was playing pretty well for the team.
Yeah.
And then he took that event off. I almost wonder if it's their way of almost it's just a repercussion of you took yourself out. We found a guy who's good. It's just instead of dealing with the drama, finding somebody else to replace that would probably be better, you just kind of did it to yourself.
Right.
So it's you kind of just made the decision for us. We don't want that to happen, but how can we say, Frosty, you're going to sit the bench, Fero's going to go in, and Prestinni's going to go back in. And it's Prestinni just sat out an event.
Yeah.
He literally put us all in this world tailspin and get a guy last minute. And you're going to just put him back in the starting lineup?
Yeah, that's what makes it tough.
That is it. Yeah,
so that's how I feel it probably went down.
That is really interesting because, I saw there a lot of applause for Florida, good job on letting your guy take off an event. But at the same time,
now they're
is it fair to the other guys to get like you're saying, Rex, to bench
I
Frosty or
know,
Havoc,
man.
where
the guys who decide to show up.
They've been grinding since forever.
I mean, it's
so
tough. If Prestinni truly thought that he had to take the event off for whatever reason, you gotta let him go. Let him do it.
Yeah.
But it
right.
Would he have taken the event off? Would
Especially
he have
if Fero's good.
Right.
Yeah.
But
So
would he have taken the event off if he knew for a fact that he was going to be benched
Probably
in
not.
a week and a half?
Maybe.
I don't know.
I mean,
maybe not. Maybe he
depending
did.
on
I don't know
the
how he feels
situation.
about the game. Maybe he just didn't want to play the game anymore, and he almost is relieved he's benched.
It's just so weird because he was coming off of a hot win over his brother. How do you not want to be playing? They beat Huntsman. Next event he sits out. It's what?
I know it was really weird timing. I mean, from a completely outside perspective, I would just say not taking into account anything else. I mean, from a Call of Duty perspective, it's surprising.
Yes.
Right now, the Mox is, more naturally an AR. They're basically running 2 ARs out there. They're kind of in the OGLA situation. They had 2 really good ARs, in Mox and Skies. And it just doesn't play very well in this game on most maps. And I thought Mox was going to get benched. Either Mox or Havoc was going to get benched for Prestinni coming back in the lineup. But it had to have been something outside of a COD perspective for them to make that move with Fero like that. So I don't know. do you guys think long term they're going to be better without Prestinni? I mean,
No.
at least it's hard to imagine that.
I feel like Prestinni had more upside than
Like
Havoc, honestly.
Yeah. Well, yeah, for sure.
But it's just so hard to comment on.
I know
when we don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Because
Fero should definitely be a starter.
Absolutely.
Prestinni should not be the one benched, but it's like Prestinni did it to himself, so it's like.
Yep.
It's a weird conversation.
I mean, he hasn't been complaining about it, so maybe he totally understands.
Yeah.
You know?
I bet I feel like maybe he's
Is he more
relieved?
relieved than anything?
Yeah.
I mean, right now playing an online league probably isn't the most like enticing
Yeah.
opportunity for someone like Prestinni.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what it is too. Like if there was gonna be if this was gonna be CDL Dallas in 4 days, then maybe he'd be a little bit more pissed. But so maybe that has to do with it too.
That
it's
is
just a straight up
true.
online
Yeah.
aspect and just us not knowing when there's gonna be more play or what is gonna happen at this point. So considering we're all in the dark, maybe that's why Prestinni hasn't been more pissed. And if events come back, then that's when he would be pissed. That's possible. So I don't know. Long term, it's another thing. We just have to wait and see what happens. I wish we could talk more about it. I wish we would have Call of Duty to watch this weekend, considering like this would be CDL Dallas coming up. We'd be doing our predictions right now, which really makes me sad that we don't get to do that this weekend. But we do get to have a draft of sorts this weekend. It's going to take up the majority of our podcast. We're going to be discussing. So we wanted to now that we're like halfway through the year, relatively, and we've had a lot of events under our belts, we kind of have a good feel for how players are at Modern Warfare. We thought, would ROSTERMANIA have gone a different way if it happened? Let's say right now. Would there be a different what would be different? What would be changed? And so we thought going into today it'd be kind of fun to do a ROSTERMANIA redraft or a ROSTERMANIA revamp or however a redesign. I don't know how you want to call it, but so like as you guys are seeing here, we got the draft board.
Hey,
wow,
fancy.
So we're gonna be going through a little bit. So based off how this layout is, we're going to go through each team. We're all going to be controlling 4 teams, and here's the rules. All right, so we have to draft 2 players from their current roster to keep it at least like realistic or like honest to who that roster is. And so you're trying to draft like the core 2 players that you believe that roster is built around. And then from there, we're going to go about and see if these teams would have made like what differences or how this could have shaked out in different ways. And so the other rule is that it has to be within a reasonable realm of possibility. And so, for example, like that could mean, like, let's just say Formal isn't going to Toronto. All right.
True.
So like, since we have to draft 2 players from that roster to be on that team at the start, like, let's say, it's Methods and I don't know, Bants or something. You draft those 2 guys, Formal's not going to go in team with those 2 guys. So we're going to have to keep it within a relative realm of possibility. And hopefully that's where some of the discussion comes into play.
Yes.
And we got some fun with it. So hopefully that's how we're going to try to re-predict how ROSTERMANIA would play out in a new age of Modern Warfare. So Atlanta's on the board first for me here. And I mean, this is pretty simple. I'm typing in Simp. Oh, I got caps lock on. It's simple. We got Simp on the board. I just got to switch it back to that. As you guys are seeing there, boom. Simp is on the board. And that's my first pick here. So I think we're just going to go, we can just like do you want to do Snake or do you want to do, we'll do Snake. So to keep it interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so Sam's up next. Sam's got control of Chicago.
Obviously I think it was built around Scump, but I'm doing Formal first because I love Formal. So Formal is going to be.
Wow, you're giving away your second pick already here.
Oh, shoot.
Wow.
Oh, no.
All right. I mean, that's a pretty reasonable.
It's pretty reasonable.
Pretty reasonable.
Yeah. For Dallas, I'm taking Clayster.
There you go.
Some people might say Crimsix, but Clayster, I think he has that firepower that I think is special.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take Clayster for Dallas.
All right. I mean, when Minnesota, so Minnesota's up next for you audio listeners out here. We'll try to keep you
audio. That's right.
Keep you in play here for any of you guys who might be a little bit confused. The draft order, by the way, is just
based off the standings.
The power ranking or the standings currently, the literal COD League standings right now. So that's how we decided to do the order of the draft. So the draft order is Atlanta, Chicago, Dallas, Minnesota, Paris, Florida, London, OGLA, Seattle, Toronto, LAG, and New York.
Ooh.
So Toronto or Minnesota's up next. I've got control of Minnesota. And at first, I think this roster may have been built around like Silly, maybe.
I think it was too.
But now it's definitely built around GodRx. So we're going with the man himself, the God himself, GodRx. Yeah. Nasty.
Okay, so next Paris, I've got control over. And this one, I think Denz is probably going to be pretty much the
right now.
And yeah, no,
Who do you think they built the roster off of originally? That's a tough question.
Kismet. I bet it was built around Kismet.
Do you think Kismet? Yeah.
Maybe.
I think it probably was Kismet, but yeah. So Denz and then.
Yeah, but in Modern Warfare, you kind of got to go off. I mean, Denz has been insane so far, and you kind of got to go off Denz at this point.
Yeah.
I think for Florida, like I would pick Fero, but like he just started playing for them, and like definitely isn't an option that I could actually do.
Not yet at this point. Yeah.
Not yet at this point. So I mean, it's weird, but I have to say Prestinni.
Oh,
he was a champion last year. He was a champion last year. I mean, now that he's not a starter now, I get it.
I'm surprised you don't go Skies off the rip.
Yeah, I know. But I feel like I even also think Florida probably was trying to build around Prestinni a little bit when they made
originally
their roster.
100%. I agree. Prestinni was like that piece. So I agree with you. I'm okay with that. London's an interesting one because originally they were definitely building around Wuskins and Dylan. Or I mean, I'm sorry, Skrapz and Dylan. But
Skrapz and Dylan. Oh,
Skrapz and Dylan.
That's what you're saying. Yeah.
But at this point, you got to go Wuskins with the first pick here. This dude's
He's been
crazy.
Numbers
and I mean, again, the main AR's numbers in this game are kind of inflated because, like, I mean, if you look at all the main ARs we have already on the list here, like, the numbers get a little bit inflated considering how they get to play the power positions and play just some, I don't want to say easier Call of Duty, but like it's easier to have a higher KD when playing as a main AR in this game. So it is a little bit different. But Wuskins, though, he's been outperforming all the main ARs, and those stats are crazy. So I got to go with some Wuskins action here in the first round for London.
Yeah, cool. Next, we have OGLA. And this is definitely weird. They just started to kind of turn
this
up.
This is definitely JCap, right?
Oak Boys.
Don't even joke about that.
By the way, Rex, did you see the Oak Boys TikTok?
Oh,
Twitter?
yeah, Rex, did you see Oak Boys TikTok?
No, I did not.
That just make you. I think that probably would just like made him so angry.
No, I can't.
It was like
I can't believe Rex hasn't seen it.
The most typical.
I don't follow
Oak Boys thing.
Boys. I don't watch their stuff.
What a shame. I feel like you got to keep your friends close, your enemies closer, though, Rex, right?
No, screw that. Oak Boys can disappear forever for all I care.
Okay, well, so this is kind of weird just because, like, so they all kind of started to turn up, but I do think I'm probably going to still say Dashy.
Yeah, probably.
I don't think they want to get rid of Dashy. There's too much upside, although Slasher 2 put up.
I was gonna think Slasher.
Slasher was really good, so
he might
show up. You never know.
We don't know. Oh, also with the Oak Boys thing, the game got a good response last week. By the way, the whole password game.
Yeah,
he got a pretty good response last week. I think we might have to pull that one out again sometime.
Maybe we do.
Karen was so nice, nice to us.
Karen's the best.
Yep, Karen's the greatest. Rex, Seattle's on the board here.
I actually don't know what you guys are talking about.
Wow! Didn't watch his podcast, huh?
Wow. I don't. Wow. I don't look at the comments.
Nah, it was. Sorry, it was literally in the video.
Karen was the one giving us the password.
Karen was the one that delivered the password to the audience. So
yeah. Oh. Yeah. I don't. Yeah.
Oak Boys.
Thanks, Karen.
My God. The way you just said that was disgusting.
It wasn't me. It was Karen.
Actually gross.
It was actually gross.
Oak Boys.
Oak Boys.
All right. So I think for Seattle, I'm going to pick Octane for obvious reasons.
Yep.
All right. Makes sense. I can get behind that. Yeah, I mean, there's probably not too many other first picks to have there if you're Seattle.
I don't even know who you're gonna do for your second round.
I'm really interested, actually. This will be interesting.
How do you? Anyways,
Toronto's a tough one. They got so many options.
So many options.
Just so many. They got a whole army. I'll go Methods though.
Probably.
Just he's the dude. He's a chef.
I did. Yeah, he's been.
I don't know if you guys saw that video.
He's been putting out a lot of chef stuff.
Some quarantine content, and you love to see it. So shout out to Methods.
Yeah. So then next we have Guerillas.
Yep.
Another
interesting one here.
Another interesting one because I honestly didn't think Lacefield was doing that bad when he got benched. So, anyways, I guess I don't know. What do you say? Do you say Aqua? Do you say
definitely eggs?
Eggs for sure, with like the lowest KD in every event he's ever played.
Yeah, dude.
This year, sorry, no disrespect to Eggs.
No, he's a champ.
Yeah, I think just Aqua.
He's
honestly, I'm not going to think about it too
Yeah,
often.
Aqua, that I could see.
I would say Aqua or Lacefield. Yeah, like you can't pick the new guys because
there's no way.
Or can you?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
For New York, I'm taking Zuma the Stallion.
Okay.
I like that pick.
I still think he's good. I mean, I think he can be a good catalyst for a team. Not necessarily the leader, the IGL, but good foundation.
Yeah, makes sense. All right. Do we want a snake draft or do we want a standard draft? Snake is like where New York would go again here, or do we want to wrap back to the beginning, or do you want maybe because it's based off the power rankings right now? We just keep it like a normal draft and go from the beginning here.
Okay.
Atlanta.
Yep. Correct. Normal.
All right. Sounds good. I feel like I've got to take Abezy, but Cellium.
Ooh, yeah. Really?
Oh no, I'm gonna have to sacrifice
You're taking
one.
Abezy over Cellium.
I don't know.
Wow.
I said Abezy at first, and then I'm like, yo, Cellium's been insane. He's probably a top 3 player right now.
If you don't pick Cellium.
Originally,
But who do you build a team around?
Right. Originally, they built the team around Abezy and Simp. So I don't know if I want to play off like the original plan for FaZe here, or if I want to go off what they would do now, because if what they're doing now, they'd have to take Cellium. And I'm going for the high upside roster here. I'm going with Cellium.
There you go.
We'll see what happens. I do have the first pick of the next round. So with FaZe here, so maybe I would get a snag Abezy anyway or Priestahh anyway.
Do.
So we'll see. All right.
Maybe you do.
Huntsman on the board here.
Huntsman,
Sammy.
Scump. You gotta go Scump.
You gotta go Scump.
You gotta go the
leaving-
T2P.
You're leaving Arcitys Envoy and Gunless up for grabs
I am.
in the
And then
ROSTERMANIA.
Crimsix, basically what Dallas did is what I'd do.
Oh, okay. All right. Crimsix off the board immediately for Dallas.
Yep.
I'm off the board again. Oh my goodness. All right, guys. Yeah.
It's already back to you.
So Cellium was up in the second round. Scump was second, and Crimsix third to pair with Clayster.
And now Minnesota.
Now Minnesota's on the board. Man. All right, listeners. I don't know. What do you guys think here? So Silly, Assault, Asim, and Alex are the 4 options here for Minnesota to pair with GodRx, the absolute nasty god right now. No pun intended.
It's gotta be Alex.
I know who I'd pick.
Who would you'd say Alex?
I'd say
Sam?
Alex.
Rex, who did you take?
I was thinking Silly, to be honest. But I think Silly has good vibes, and I feel like it might.
Oh,
play a
I
role
definitely
in their
love Silly's
success.
vibes.
Silly's awesome, but
Yeah.
Alex has put up the stats.
I feel like I'm with you on that one. I think Alex.
Yeah, but if you look at all just look at OpTic, they all have stats, but they suck.
But I feel like Alex has been like a different tier. He's been playing really an
been
aggressive,
really good.
like main SMG, like really, really well. If I'm building off a team right now, I'm going to go Alex. Originally, 100% Silly would have been on that list. But that's the fun of the draft now. I think Alex is the guy that you got to take if you're Minnesota to lock up long term right now.
Yeah.
So
Man.
I'm going to go Alex.
I put a lot of weight into vibes. I like vibes.
No,
I think it adds a lot. I think a good foundational vibe can do wonders. Look at Paris.
I mean,
no, I think a lot
Paris
of
have
a lot
good
of players would agree
foundational
with you.
vibes.
I think Minnesota is literally held together by vibes.
Yeah.
Like you have 2 good players.
Yeah.
And then you just got amazing vibes and teamwork on that team, and
Yeah.
they're top 4.
No, I
You gotta
agree.
figure
Like
out who are the people that are kind of creating those
Yeah.
vibes.
Imagine the positivity with Silly, Asim, and Alex.
Absolutely.
And then GodRx and Assault are like the most chill, like level-headed guys ever.
Yeah, that's a great team.
So it's like it really is kind of just vibes.
Yeah.
So no, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, there's just definitely a balance, and like long term, like when we're doing this, like it's tough because you want to balance the vibes and the talent, and if you're looking to build a roster for the rest of Modern Warfare, like there's a balance in there somewhere, but the talent kind of has to outweigh it once in a while. So that's why I went with Alex. Sam, you're on the board. Your Paris here. Paris is already the first pick.
I'm just gonna go quickly here. Kismet.
Oh, really?
I've been impressed with Kismet, except for what was that one event where he kind of tanked?
I think Atlanta.
Was Atlanta where he just kind of pooped?
I think so.
But regardless of that, I have been really impressed with Kismet. I think he's got a really good drive for this game and kind of proving people wrong. But yeah, I think Kismet and Denz are a good duo for Paris.
I think I might have gone Luca.
Really?
But I have no problem with either way. So
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rex, you're on the board with Florida.
So for me, I think I'm gonna have to pick Frosty.
Whoa, really? You're gonna leave Skies out for the picking?
Well, you gotta have the vibes, man. Maybe not Frosty. I mean, Skies, man. Maybe. Frosty. I think Frosty has a good vibe. Like, I think he brings a lot.
But at some point, you gotta take the slaying power that Skies is bringing right now, dude. He's basically, at least in my opinion, like a top 12 player.
Yeah.
It's tough, dude.
I'm gonna go with Skies. I mean, I don't know Skies' personality too well, but
he makes TikToks.
Hopefully, it's a good one.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm on the board now. Guys, what do you guys think, man? I got Wuskins as my 1.
Skrapz
and Dylan are both there. You know, we got Nastiee, Jerd, Rated.
I would love to say Dylan, but he hasn't been the Dylan of last year. He hasn't been Black Ops.
Am I taking the dynamic twin duo?
You might
of
just
Wuskins and Skrapz? I will say I've been really, really happy with Skrapz' S&D this year. I think I talked about that. I think I talked about that in the last podcast or maybe 2 podcasts ago. But like his S&D's been crazy good this year when his rep previously has been, a bad S&D player where he costs. I mean, he has been running a sniper and he's been doing it very well in S&D once in a while. But Wuskins has been doing the same thing. So I guess I'll take Skrapz. I really hate leaving Dylan out there for somebody else. But I agree. I think the duo just makes too much sense right now. So I'll do Wuskins and Skrapz for London, which puts OpTic back on the board with Dashy as their current keeper.
Yeah. I do think they would want, or I'm gonna go with Slasher.
Yeah.
I think Slasher is just gonna be someone that you build around.
How do you feel about the Dashy Slasher situation?
I know it's that
personality.
That's
combo,
the only reason why I'm kind of like weird, because I think Slasher
because like Slasher and Kenny are together, and
Tej
and Dashy are together, and then there's JCap.
I know JCap is just out there.
Yeah,
I think Dashy is chill enough that he can just take Slasher's crap. Like Fero can't take Slasher's crap. So someone like Fero, maybe.
And Dashy's just good enough on his own. That,
exactly. Like
Slasher respects it.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with that.
Okay. I mean, I'm down with it. I would probably do the same thing too.
Yeah.
It's just that I am a little worried about the personality combo. But
that's a weird one.
Yeah. All right. That puts Rex on the board with Seattle now. Octane is the current captain. This is an interesting one, Rex. I'm excited to hear what you have to say.
Who do you go with?
An easy pick. Apathy.
Okay.
Oh, Apathy. Wow. The 3-time is out in the playing field. Out
of
for the
course.
Pickens.
Octane's like God tier, doing super, super well on a bad team. And then Apathy, good vibes, and he's doing his job, I think. So I think Octane Apathy we got a good starting place here.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, hey, I don't hate it. I definitely don't hate it.
Not
Which
bad.
puts Toronto back on the board. And I am currently controlling Toronto. This ain't easy. But methods, I've actually been really happy with how Classic's played this year. I might keep Classic.
It is really weird. That he's been
surprising.
He's been playing pretty good.
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed it going into the year, but he's been playing really well. So I'm gonna keep Classic around and see what happens. So Sam, LAG.
So this is weird. Yeah, LA Guerillas. I honestly think I'm gonna go with Blast.
Yeah,
I
don't know how I feel about it.
I know it's, but the thing is, you have Lacefield, Aches, and Saints on the bench, right? Then you have the two new guys, Blast or Vivid and Spart. Blast is like the only one with like a reputable background, right?
Yeah,
and he's like actually like decent. I don't know. Just the whole 3-person switch is weird, and I don't know. That's what I'm gonna go with. I'm not looking back.
Yeah,
Blast.
There's not really a go-to pick there,
No,
so it's like
there
I don't blame you at all. All
That's
right,
such a
Rex, you're on the
weird-
board here. This is another interesting one. New York. I know how much you love Temp, so you're going Temp.
Nah, we're not taking Temp.
All right, censor.
Don't
Actually, I considered taking Temp a little bit, but
don't forget about
think
censor.
Are you going the legendary duo?
I think I am going the legendary duo of going attach.
Yeah.
I like it.
I don't know how you could go any other way, honestly.
Yeah.
That's a no fault pick right there.
Yeah.
All right, so I just deleted all the players who have already been selected so that we don't
Cool.
get confused.
Yeah.
All right. Wow, that's exciting. So we got our captains down. So now that opens up the playing field, and we can pick anyone within some reason
Mm-hmm.
for them to go there. Obviously, we're gonna be a little bit lenient. Like you could say, oh well, that guy would never play with that guy. Like, you could say Temp would never play with X player ever again, which maybe is the case, and we can argue that. But we're just going more like, all right, this team's a little bit too low tier or too high tier for these teams. So
There's some breathing room.
there's some breathing room though. So we'll be trying to be a little bit lenient. I'm picking with Atlanta here.
Yep.
I have a feeling that at least 2 of these guys are going to get selected in this round, 100% guaranteed. And it could very well be the next pick.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got to secure one of my own FaZe guys here. I feel like.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
And I hate this. This is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna lose either 2 of Abezy, Major Maniac, or Priestahh. Oh, because maybe Major Maniac could get back to me in the next round, which I will consider. So I'm going either Abezy or Priestahh here. Oh no! Oh, this really sucks. Who guys? You could just let one of them slip back to FaZe. That'd be great.
Yeah, maybe.
I feel like Simp and Abezy are too much of a duo. I know how good Priestahh is. He's so good, but Abezy and Simp they're a duo, and they got to stay together. So I'm going Abezy. And there goes Priestahh.
I just waiting.
Sam says, screw Gunless Envoy and Arcitys, going straight for Priestahh there.
How do you not take one of those guys?
That'd be a really interesting combo, though. Formal Scump and Priestahh.
I do think Priestahh it could actually be a good fit just of like how chill he is.
Yeah.
I think he could be a great fit with Formal and Scump.
It feels like Priestahh could play with anyone.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm not worried about that one at all. So yeah. There it is.
All right. Wow. All right. Well, Rex, you're on the board here. What's your thought process going into this one?
I think, you want somebody who can listen, can put their nose to the grindstone, but also can take a step back. Part of me wants to take Fero. Another part of me,
Interesting.
and the part I'm going to listen to, is I'm going to take Arcitys.
Okay.
Oh, that would be a really fun fit. Clayster and Arcitys stay together.
That would be a good fit.
Yeah, that's within reason.
That
With
is
definitely within
Crimsix
reason.
now, Crimsix, would love Arcitys.
Yeah,
That'd be good.
Gave you an apostrophe in there. So that makes sense. That's actually a really cool pick. It didn't come to mind right off the rip. So
that would be a really cool roster, honestly.
yeah, it really would. All right, I'm at Minnesota now. Got our ex Alex. So this is one where it's like, would Gunless go play with Goddard X and Alex going into this year?
I think if everyone,
No.
if if you're looking at it from like this mid,
from how good they are right now,
I think anyone would want to play with GodRx.
Yeah,
I think like you have to give GodRx
at this point,
a lot.
how good GodRx is, anyone would play with him.
I think so.
I think
honestly.
so too.
Yeah,
but based off how it is now, maybe. Yeah.
Going into the year, definitely not.
No.
And that's why they end up with the roster they had. But they did a great job with the roster.
Yeah, but you definitely but you have to consider how good they are now.
Yes,
for this.
I do agree, which puts me in an interesting situation here. Man, I'm gonna go Envoy. Envoy.
That's a good one. That's a good pick.
We're snagging the Chicago and Atlanta rosters. We're hot off the market. Only one player left on each team.
Yeah.
I think the playstyle mixes very, very well with Alex and GodRx. Yeah. And I would be really excited about a roster like that right now.
He'd be a good voice on that team.
He would. I think that'd be a really, really fun team. So, Sam, you're up now with Dens and Kismet.
So
this is this is kind of like a middling one where like most guys will go there, but not everyone.
Yeah. I definitely think there is a cap on who would come here.
Yes. What's your thought process here?
So I'm trying to think of guys that don't have obviously like the most credit like credit right now.
Yeah, who may be a little underrated,
but are gonna be really good.
Yeah. Is anyone sticking out to you?
Man, part of me is thinking of guys like Shotzzy, Huke. Maybe not Huke. Shotzzy, ILLeY, kind of like the young guns that
that could have ended up there in a world. I could see that.
I kind of wonder if maybe Frosty, due to the E6 roster last year, might want to go there.
That could make sense.
But is he good enough to pick him? Man.
Yeah, it's tough. It's really tough.
I might do. You know what? I'm just gonna say Frosty, not to not like hold on to this. Yeah, just for Kismet and Frosty's previous last year. I don't hate it. I'm not too confident with it, but that's just kind of
that's fine. Rex, you're up now, man.
So for
Florida, they got Prestinni and Skies currently, and a lot of options still out there with all the rosters. So this could go any which way. And also kind of interesting. I mean, Prestinni's coming off a championship, so like he could pull a pretty good player.
Yeah.
Maybe not the elitist of elites, but most of them are already gone. So, you basically got the pickings of your player here.
I think I would take ILLeY.
Oh, interesting.
I think ILLeY's got that young gun. I think he's got that fire to play well. And since Florida has this chance to pick him, I think they would pick him.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I thought you might go Gunless there because like the Prestinni Gunless.
I don't know. That just seemed like a little out of reach for me. I don't think Gunless would go on that team.
Yeah, I mean, probably not with Skies. Gunless is kind of like a S tier type personality at this point.
Yeah.
It's definitely interesting. I think he might go here though with Wuskins and Skrapz.
Yeah, oddly enough, I think he could too.
I'm considering that. I'm definitely considering like Hook or Shotzzy. And then I'm also just considering Dylan and just making the trio and seeing what happens.
Yeah.
And I actually don't hate it at all. And I might just do it.
Honestly, yeah.
I might just do it. He's still on the board. I'm going to throw Dylan in there. It's about as realistic as it gets, considering it is real.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go there. I'm going to go with Dylan. So that puts OpTic back on the board. Sam, you're in control. Dashy and Slasher currently sitting with that roster.
I think I might go back and throw it back to World War II with Slasher and Gunless on the same team.
Dude, is some
there's
firepower.
No way.
I don't know. What do you think? They were. You can't deny they were successful. With
maybe
Slasher
you're right. Maybe Gunless would
I
play on that team.
I think he might because Slasher.
Now you just need to get TJ.
I think Slasher.
And you've literally got the roster.
I think TJ is chalked at this point. I don't know. I think Gunless and Slasher have a mutual respect. I do understand the hot-headedness there, but I in some weird way I think it would work.
Yeah, no, I think that makes sense. I actually really like that a lot.
I'm doing it. Gunless.
I mean, the firepower on that team is terrifying.
Yeah,
that's crazy. All right, Rex, you got one. I have one player that I would really like to see you pick here, but I don't think you're gonna pick him. I want to hear what you have to say first. You're currently sitting on Octane and Apathy on Seattle.
There's a lot of choices I could go with here.
That Gunless pick knocked out the current Huntsman roster, so there are no remaining Huntsmen to be picked.
Yeah,
the first team to get nitpicked apart.
Right.
So where are you sitting
I think for Seattle, I could see them. I want to say like
Here, I'll give you
Asim or
my thought.
Shotzzy.
My thought here would be Kenny.
I was gonna say
The reunite
I was
with
thinking
Octane.
Kenny as well, but
because like you got to think, what is Seattle's problem right now? It's their subs are just there's no sub presence.
Yeah,
I think Kenny would bring that. Honestly,
I think Kenny makes
bring
a lot of
more
sense.
maybe, but
A Sim, I could see
Fero
that as well.
would be a better option.
A Sim, Fero would make sense as well. I could see that. I could see like you could just throw Temp on that roster. He just goes crazy.
I thought about Temp too.
And he's
But
just
Temp
running
and
around the
Octane
map
together, like I almost want to take someone from New York. I think I'm gonna go with.
It's really tough, man. It is really
I think
really
I'm
tough.
gonna go Temp. I think I got.
I mean, that's kind of a fun combo.
it is.
I mean, I'm not sure how the personalities work
risky.
together, but it's a fun combo.
It is.
Yeah,
I like it.
risky.
All right, well,
Sorry, Apathy, for
Toronto's on the
putting you
board
in a
here. I don't
toxic
like.
wasteland.
Yeah, Toronto's on the board here. Methods and Classic. I'm gonna try to bat up a little bit here, bat up the chain. I need to pick someone who I think has upside, who would be willing to play with Methods and Classic.
Shotzzy.
Shotzzy feels like the
I
type of
think
pick
Shotzzy
here,
is the one to go
right?
with.
Shotzi's the pick here. I mean, the other guys that Fero would play with them probably. You could go Fero, Havoc, Mox. I'm not sure
I feel
who
like
else.
You could move a lot of the young new guys anyway.
The young new guys onto Toronto, and so they may have just picked the wrong ones. And so I'm gonna go Shotzzy with that. So LAG's on the board now. Sam, you got Aqua and Blast right now. I think you might be trying to play up the ladder here a little bit too.
Absolutely, I am. Man,
I got it.
who would want
Knock
to play with
Shotzzy
Aqua
out
and
here.
Blast?
I think you're looking at like a Sim, any of the Paris guys.
Yeah. Do you think?
You could take Fero and Blast? Like that's a combo.
Fero might honestly want to do that. Yeah, I actually really enjoy. I like that one.
Fero?
I'm going with Fero.
Okay, yeah, I like that too.
I think Fero is in a position that like he wouldn't deny that.
Yeah,
he's good, but he wouldn't deny playing with Aqua and Blast.
Yeah, no, I'm down for that. Which
Okay.
puts New York back on the board here with Zuma and Attach.
Yeah. So
The longtime duo. Who do they play with now? This
Major
new roster maniac.
Major
Oh,
Maniac.
I can see that.
I like that.
I like that
pick.
a lot actually.
I think
there goes
it could
FaZe.
work with the personalities.
So
and everything.
close. No,
So
I got
close.
sniped. I could have got the fourth one.
Mm.
You hate to see it. No, I actually really like that. That makes a lot of sense. I think it fits the roster. The slow AR to anchor back their team here as Attach and Zuma are flying around the map.
Definitely.
So I think that makes a lot of sense. So now, Atlanta. We're getting nerfed out here. We've lost
Yeah, you
Priestahh.
are.
We've lost Major Maniac. So we need a main AR. So I'm looking that route. I'm looking someone to play a Priestahh role on the map. Immediately comes to mind, Kenny's still out there. I think Kenny and Hook are the two guys I'm looking at for this roster. I think I'm going to go Kenny.
Yeah.
So Kenny has just got a big-time upgrade. He's now sitting on Atlanta. He's feeling real good about that.
Really?
And,
Okay.
Kenny now paired with Simp, Cellium,
take
and
Fero out.
Abezy. Pretty nice roster there.
So Chicago's next. So far I got Formal, Scump, and Priestahh. I think you need a sub obviously here, or another AR. Do you want someone that's gonna replace the lost voices of Envoy and Gunless? Because those two were obviously the ones that were.
This is actually a really interesting pick.
It is, because part of me is like, well, do you throw Karma back in there?
Oh, I forgot Karma was still
Karma
out there.
play with them though?
I don't know.
You reunite Formal, Scump, and Karma. That'd be very
I
interesting.
know. Or do you do someone?
I mean, maybe Hook.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
he's a listener though. He's not a leader.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I've got Priestahh. Maybe Formal's enough.
I kind of feel like Formal and Scump, they know their way around.
Yeah. You know what?
I kind of like the Hook play.
I like the play too.
That's
I'm gonna
That's
do
a
Hook.
pretty dope roster. I'd love to see that.
That is
Formal,
cool.
Scump, Priestahh, and Hook.
Yeah.
That'd be such a fun team.
Yeah. That'd be a chill team.
Yeah, I'd be all about that. So that puts Dallas on the board now. Rex, you're Mr. General Manager over there for Dallas. You got Clayster, you got Crim, you got Arcitys. A really fun trio.
Yeah.
You need some youthful firepower.
This is the hard part. I don't. part of me, it's either got to be Asim or Mox, I feel like, almost.
Yeah.
But that both just feel kind of weird to throw in there.
Right.
Just nobody feels like comfortable to me.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go with.
Oh man, it is really. It doesn't seem like a really obvious option. I mean, Sam, is there one that sticks out to you for this?
Honestly, like maybe Asim.
I could see that.
I think like
That's
he
what I
would
said.
definitely.
He's a very similar shots. Oh yeah, that's a very similar Shotzzy comparison.
I think I gotta go Asim, but
Yeah.
we're slacking. I think in the sub.
I mean,
Him or
that's all
maybe-
good.
Maybe you can. No, never mind.
What?
I was gonna say like, TJ's kind of starting to show a little bit of life,
Yeah,
but
I wouldn't hate that
Yeah.
either. So I mean, I think a sim makes sense. I think a sim makes a lot of sense there. So Minnesota's now up here.
that's true.
I think Assault's kind of getting slept on here. I'm just going to give him Assault. I mean, he's been playing
Yeah.
pretty well this year. You get a pair him back with GutterX, Alex, and Envoy.
Mhm.
That roster's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, four guys that I really believe in all of them, and
Yeah.
they play their roles very, very well. And I think that's a roster pretty well built together there. So
Definitely.
that puts Paris back on the board here.
Yeah, I think I might steal a London. I feel like don't you think Jerd would come with
Oh, for sure.
Dens?
Oh yeah.
I think Jerd would make a good fourth for this team.
Okay. All right. I can see that.
Kind of going off with like the sort of European sort of.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I have one. Now you might think I'm crazy, but I think I'm gonna take Karma for Florida.
That actually, I think that's actually not bad.
Oh, that's really interesting. Probably a good value there.
I think it's something Karma could do or like would
Be
do.
the leader of a younger team.
I don't even know if he'd be a leader, but it's like it feels like with Florida, no one's really like. It's just like the vibe is very different.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
So I feel like Karma.
think
That's
that
what
makes
the big
sense.
thing with Karma is very much like a vibes thing with him, and so something like that right now, I think almost fits with what he's got going on.
Definitely.
yeah, I'm about it. I like that.
Nice.
Alrighty.
Who you gonna
Baby.
change anything up with this London roster here?
I don't know. So, like my thoughts here, I've got Wuskins, I've got Skrapz, I've got Dylan.
Yes, you
I
do.
mean, we still got 2 players left. I could go Nastiee and Rated and have just
Yeah.
a party. I don't hate the idea of like going Nastiee, but we haven't seen what he could do yet.
Yeah.
I think
he's
there's
unknown.
Yeah, I think there's still some interesting options here. I'm thinking maybe like Luca here.
Yeah.
You throw him on that roster, you could play pretty well. I think Silly would be pretty interesting on this roster as well.
Yeah.
It'd be really, really fun. Are we allowing like amateur picks? Or are we gonna stick with the pro roster?
Let's stick with pro roster.
Because like I wouldn't mind snagging some of those singularity guys
Yeah.
and throw them on this team because I think let's be realistic. If this was happening, some of them would have already been picked probably.
Yeah.
Just because of the visa situation, teams aren't picking them up right now.
Yeah.
But we'll stick with the pro
For the
roster
sake of-
simplicity.
Simplicity.
I'm gonna go Luca. I think that's kind of fun. You keep the the foreign aspect, and you put an Aussie onto the UK roster and see what happens. So I think that I think he fits the team pretty well.
Yeah.
And would overall work out for London pretty well.
Yeah. So OGLA, I think what this team needs is some vibes. I think Silly.
Oh, that's interesting.
I'm gonna
Hey,
go for it.
you reunite Silly with Gunless.
Yeah.
Silly's
fun.
gonna hate that team though.
Probably.
You think Silly? I mean, I guess maybe Silly.
might
would
be
take
just
that
pissed.
team,
He's
but,
gonna
like,
need to
that
learn
seems
to-
like a team
he's gonna need
Silly
to
would
learn,
not be a
man.
fan of.
Gonna need to learn. It's just hard because that team is like you can't just put anyone on that team. That
No,
Dashy
definitely
and Sasha are not going to take just anyone.
Yeah,
But they
Silly
would
will
take
go with the
Silly.
flow.
Yeah.
And Gunless and Silly have played together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that makes sense. For sure.
I'm rolling with it.
Yeah, I'm about it. All right, Rex, you're up, baby. Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle.
Octane, Apathy, and Temp.
I need to give Apathy some backup here, but I just don't know. Like, I almost want to be like JCap Because he needs. Here's the thing. He needs backup, but he needs backup that is like a veteran and like voice. Their voice matters a little bit.
What if you put Enable on that
I
roster?
will say, I think Zero needs to be in this conversation. I think Zero
That's interesting.
is.
But Zero and Temp?
That's true. Maybe not for Seattle, but I guess I'm just throwing it out there. Zero is definitely worth picking
I
up.
could see Zero.
The options are kind of
but we've already seen Enable on this team and like how.
Well,
it
not.
just
I mean, you've seen him with Octane and Apathy. I mean, replacing Karma with Temp gives you a lot more slaying power already. I wouldn't hate Enable here.
I think
the last pick's gonna be tough.
Enable
gonna be really
is
tough.
the only one that I can put in there. I want to say I don't know why JCap speaks to me so much for this one, but just like JCap has been.
I'm wondering why JCap speaks to you here.
JCap's been absolutely atrocious, and I just can't do that to the org of Seattle. Like, it literally feels like a crime.
It's a crime. So who are you gonna go with?
Enable.
Enable. Look at that.
Okay.
All right. Hey, I'm okay with that. I'm actually kind of excited about that. So that puts Toronto on the board here. They got Methods, Classic, and Shotzzy. I mean, I think they're still batting up. They're still batting up here. This is a big win for Toronto. You know, I'm gonna take Havoc.
Okay.
See what he can do on that roster. Pair him with Shotzzy. See what he can do. You know.
Yeah.
Play a different role. Get him in a new environment. See how Havoc plays with that roster. I think it could make sense. And like he fits with the squad, so
definitely.
Why not?
Man.
LAG still in the same batting up situation here. They're pretty excited about this.
Yeah. I guess it's just a matter of who would play with them.
Yeah. I mean,
same as
I think there's quite a few options. I mean, Aqua Blast, Fero. You could go like. I mean, who wouldn't play with them?
JCap would not. TJ would not.
Well,
play
TJ might.
Slacked
he's
would
played
not.
with Blast and Fero.
Slacked wouldn't.
Yeah. I mean, you could go Shots. I think Tej would. You could put Tej on that roster.
Do you think TJ would?
Yeah, for sure. He plays with Blast and Fero.
I'm playing TJ then because I think that is still batting up for them.
Yeah. Zero is still out there.
Yeah.
Which would be an interesting pick here.
I don't think Zero would play with LAG, but
would he play with Zuma and Attach still? That's the real question.
With Temp gone, maybe he would.
Yeah, I mean, there is Zero, but I think I'm going to take Slacked.
Okay.
I feel like that personality just works. I feel like Slacked
it makes sense on that roster,
and
probably.
When he's able to play with like Zuma, Attach, like I feel like there's some rhythm to that.
The roster kind of got boring quick though with Major Maniac and Slack. It got real boring real quick. That's fine. Hey, it's all good. That puts Atlanta back on the board with their last pick. We're finishing out the final round here.
Yeah.
Atlanta's on the board. For you listeners out there, we got Simp, Cellium, Abezy, and Kenny as their team of 4 right now, looking for their 5th. And I mean, I'm looking at maybe Zero here. I wouldn't mind Mox as well coming into last year. Mox was kind of a hot commodity after last year with how well he played on Gen G. So I think that could be a possibility at least. Zero feels a little weird and kind of off to me to put on that roster. I wouldn't mind accuracy on this roster considering like he kind of plays the same role as what Major Maniac could do.
Yeah.
So maybe you go that route. And I wouldn't hate that either.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I think I'm gonna go Mox. I think he's just a slightly better. He can be a little bit more flexible than accuracy. So I'm gonna go Mox with that roster.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of filling the Major Maniac role with how Mox plays. So that rounds out Atlanta's roster of Simp, Cellium, Abezy, Kenny, and Mox. Feels like a slight downgrade from what they were before, but not too far off.
Yeah. Not horrible. I am thinking Zero here.
This is for the Huntsman.
Sorry. Yep. Huntsman. Yes. Right now I've got Formal, Scump, Priestahh, and Huke. I think Zero would round it out.
Interesting.
Just because
that's a really interesting team.
Again with Huntsman, you are talking about people like they're not going to take just anyone.
Yeah.
I do think Zero does have enough. Zero or accuracy, but I think Zero is a better player than accuracy at this point.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, maybe Zero's got put into a tough situation. I mean, both of them didn't play well.
Yeah.
Both of them were not playing well on New York.
Man, maybe accuracy is a better choice for this team.
They've already got the AR and Formal, though.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to go Zero. I'm I kind of like the 0.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
That 0 pick. So
I mean, there's not any like crazy team like players that are gonna like really fit with those guys at this point.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So Chicago, Formal, Scump, Priestahh, Huke, and 0.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. All right, Rex, you're on the board here. Dallas, you got Clay, Crim, Arcitys, and a Sim. A really 2 C's and 2 A's. Mm-hmm. Can we keep it going?
So hear me out.
Thanks.
This is like the play that I could see this doing something great. Censor.
Oh, censor. Okay.
Okay, I'm taking censor.
No
for Dallas.
Way. Oh, you kept up with the C's. Attaboy.
What's that?
I said 2 C's and 2 A's. Can we keep it up? And you did. Wow. That I don't know how I feel about that.
I mean, but
dude, the vibe censors can bring. We know censor is not that bad of a player.
Censor would literally just be the person that just
fly in the hill.
Is
OBJ.
the bait person.
Bait for everyone.
That might honestly make that team really good.
This team right here, the vibes that it has, but also the leadership potential that it has. It could.
Could you imagine Crim and
It's either going to do really well.
I think that alone.
Censor always says he's going to
They teamed in the gunfight tournament like recently.
Censor and Crim love each other. They're friends.
They're like kind of friends, but like
they're friends.
No, but
Censor and
like,
Crim are definitely friends
him in a friendly way.
Bully.
Yeah, exactly. That's like why it works.
Oh, no,
dude, I would actually love to see that team.
That's a hilarious team.
That'd be a great team.
I'm all about it. It's hilarious. Why not?
How fun that team would be to watch.
That team is probably the best vibed team.
Until Censor and Crim start hating each other, which is
they don't hate each other though.
But,
they're like
eventually
really
they will hate
friends.
each other. But I wouldn't say close.
But Censor, I feel like knows he can't like even talk for the next like 2 years just because of where he's been.
He can't.
So if he just shuts his mouth, I think it'll be good. If not, then yeah, you're right.
Well, he knows he's playing with like leaders that know what they're doing. So like,
yeah,
he just brings the good vibes. He'll get in the hill. He does what he has to do.
If his dad doesn't post on Instagram, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, Clayster, such a big head. Crimsix, stubborn. Arcitys, fat. Yo, Censor's dad's savage. Wow, gosh, Censor's dad. That's disgusting. Who would ever say that? I love Arcitys.
Jeez.
Anyways. That's so. God, Censor's dad's got to stop. Jeez. All right.
Okay. Minnesota.
Minnesota. Okay, so I got GutRx, Alex, Envoy, and Assault. So 3 of the 4 are current Minnesota players. Minnesota has no more players left to be picked. So, I mean, I've already got the AR. I've got GutRx who can flex. Envoy, Alex, really nice SMGs here. So I'm looking for like a flex probably, or a flex SMG. Probably a guy who prefers to play SMG. I might just go like Vivid here. Throw one of the younger guys into a team with a better situation, or you go Kleenex and play with the upside that we haven't seen yet. I'd be okay with either of those.
Yeah.
Or you go Pander. I'm surprised Shocks hasn't been picked yet. I'd be okay with Shocks as well.
Yeah.
But I may as well save him for Paris because that only makes sense, right? I'm gonna go Spart on this team.
I like that.
Kind of weird,
but a good pick.
I kind of like pairing him with the GutRx, Alex, Envoy, Assault. He plays like the role of a sim basically on this team. So yeah, I like that. I think Minnesota's coming out as one of the better rosters in my opinion.
Yeah,
out of this draft.
Definitely not bad. Yeah, I'm just gonna round up with
Shocks. I think that makes a lot of sense. I mean, at this point, he's still there.
Yeah.
Why not? Right. So that rounds out Paris's roster. If Den's
Looney, does he fit anywhere?
Maybe
he just hasn't been playing very well, but he is a name in the league.
Like, he's a big name in the league.
How does he not get on that roster? Anyway, sorry.
No, yeah. So
Rex.
The Paris roster rounded out with Dens, Kismet, Frosty, Jerd, and Shocks.
That might be an upgrade, honestly, for Paris. I don't know.
Maybe
Jerd and Frosty.
Maybe
I don't know.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. So that puts Rex on the board here with Florida, Prestinni, Skies,
ILLeY,
and Karma.
Yeah.
Rex, what are you thinking?
Who's that fifth?
Who's the fifth?
I think I'm gonna have. I think I kind of want to go
what
with
players
Pander.
are you considering here? Pander?
I'm kind of thinking Pander, maybe Rated, but just putting Rated there just doesn't feel right.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe accuracy, but again, accuracy doesn't feel right for the vibe that's been built.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I think I'm going with Pander.
Okay, I'm okay with that. I mean, we are getting down to the bottom of the barrel here.
Yeah.
So, we're going to have to kind of force a few guys into places that may not necessarily make the most sense. But because we're near the end of the draft here, I've actually been really happy with how well this has kind of played out.
Yeah.
So, London's on the board now with with Wuskins, Skrapz, Dylan, and Luca. Pretty interesting team. I mean, 3 of the 4 are the same. I mean, Nastiee and Rated are still here on London. I could snag them. Obviously, I'd be feeling a little bit better about Nastiee than Rated at this point, considering they dropped him for him. And I mean, I might just go with it. Nastie's a wild card. I kind of like that little, the stallion, the wild card side, and see what happens. So I'm gonna go with Nastiee.
Not stable, by the way.
Yeah, our table's I don't know if it's like. Yeah. Hey, it's fine. Yeah. We're good.
Okay, so OGLA, so far Dashy, Slasher, Gunless, and Silly.
That's a fun roster.
I feel like you have to do accuracy. Just because.
No.
Who else is going to go on that team?
They have 2 ARs already.
Dude,
they got Dashy and Slasher.
Murdered.
No, you cannot. Go with someone like Vivid or something.
But would they actually play with him, though?
No.
That's what I'm saying.
But accuracy, they already have 2 ARs.
Right. I think accuracy is the only one.
What about Looney? What about Looney? Is there?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Looney.
Oh, my God.
100%.
That is a toxic cesspool. Dude, that is so bad.
I don't think it's
not
that bad, honestly.
Looney's fine.
Looney is toxic, dude.
Think about it.
No, wait. You got Slasher and Gunless and Looney.
Yeah.
They all
and
played
Dashy.
together.
You say Dashy's not toxic. Dashy's
not toxic.
Dashy, okay, yell at Dashy. Dashy goes, okay. Dashy
no,
just
but
doesn't
Slashy,
care.
Gunless, and Looney have played together before.
Dashy doesn't even.
Here's the thing though about Dashy
Dashy
is
has a huge ego. That's
the
how
thing though
like,
is Dashy is
so
just
good.
Dashy. Yeah, Dashy will just hold his own. Like that's all you need.
But he also will listen. I mean, he does listen. He also voices his opinion, which would be like the problem with potentially with Gunless.
I think splitting up TJ and Dashy helps. I think Dashy and TJ together.
I could see that
is toxic, but
they
I think Dashy by himself.
They play into each other's flaws.
I think this team, you can't sleep on this team right here. I think it's.
I actually like the team
bad.
a lot.
Yeah,
I like it a lot.
I can see it working.
So
yeah. All right. Well, that puts Rex on the board here with Seattle. Another kind of weird final pick here.
Yeah.
Octane, Apathy, Temp, and Enable.
You know what I'm gonna do, and this is gonna be weird. I'm gonna take JCap.
Oh man,
JCap's been playing terrible, but I almost want to say JCap's playing terrible because he's not like with.
Octane's gonna hate himself again.
Octane's gonna hate himself.
But here's the thing. Apathy. If I put another toxic person in there Apathy's gonna get murdered. And then you have Enable in there. Enable he's more passive. He just doesn't. It's almost like he doesn't care.
No, I mean.
But if you add Enable and JCap, they're like close friends. They're going to be positive because of each other, which will help Apathy. And in turn, Octane and Temp can keep popping off.
I feel like you just need another guy with upside slang power, and JCap's not that.
But you could see how JCap could be better because he's just happier. He's with his friend. Apathy's a great guy to be around.
With Vivid
and his
or
teammates are
here,
really good. I could see it. But no, yeah, you're right. JCap's trash.
I mean, hey, it's all good.
But I'm making magic happen here. I'm trying to make magic happen with my
inherently
org.
Because we're going.
What are you trying to do with your org? Are you trying to be like a 5th place org? Or are you trying to be a 1st place org? I'm trying to be a 1st place org. So what does that mean? That means I take chances and risks to get 1st place. I don't take these calculated things to try and get 4th or 3rd because anybody else I take. It's that's like a 3rd, 4th place team. You got to take a big ones if you want to be the winner. So that's where I'm going.
I mean, hey, all right, I respect it. I mean, again, this is tough because this is a standard draft. So inherently, the teams at the back are going to have tougher picks here.
Yeah,
they should logically be worse off.
Yeah.
So it is tougher. So now Toronto's on the board here. Methods, Classic, Shotzzy, and Havoc. I don't know how I feel about this, but I mean. I'm thinking either Brack, Vivid, or Accuracy here, but I don't know if Accuracy would logically. I mean, Accuracy would play probably with Classic and Methods, I guess. And I mean, this team honestly, inherently, this team's not that bad.
I could say
it's
Accuracy.
not terrible.
But they already have Methods, so I don't know if I want to put Accuracy on this team as well. I'm gonna go Vivid. and see what happens. Like, why not, right?
Yeah.
So I'll go Vivid. Why not? That leaves Sam on the board here with LAG, currently with the roster of Aqua, Blast, Fero, and Tej.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting roster there.
Yeah. This one's just weird. Like,
you're gonna snag one of the Toronto guys and see what happens.
Like do you put Brack on here and like, or do you put Metals?
Metals. I could see that.
Metals has actually surprised me a little bit, so I'm actually gonna put Metals.
Okay. I mean, yeah. See what happens with Blast, Tej, Fero, and Metals.
I don't even know if this is an upgrade or not. To the current LAG roster, who knows?
I mean, Fero's an upgrade though. He's probably the next best player on that team now.
I think so too. Yeah.
So,
yeah,
I think it's an upgrade, but just barely.
Yeah.
Rex, you're on the clock, baby. Mr. Irrelevant of the draft, the last pick of the draft here. Zuma, Attach, Major Maniac, Slacked, and the fifth. Accuracy is still there.
I know.
But I don't need accuracy.
No, you don't. You've already got Major Maniac.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go with.
You got to go with either like.
Is rated really that bad?
But he's also an AR. Like, I don't need that.
No, you basically. I mean, what are your options here?
Raid's an AR?
Cammy, Kleenex, Lucky, and.
I think I'm gonna go with Brack.
I mean, he's an AR as well, though.
He can play sub. Doesn't he flex?
I mean, he used a Maddox in World War II.
Black Ops 4.
I mean, in Black Ops 4.
I just know accuracy and rated are like really slow. Brack, at least, like he can be fast.
I mean, he's a little bit faster. I'm okay with that. I mean, the talent upside is there for Brack.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's tough last pick. I mean, you're kind of getting funneled in there. So, just want to do one final read of our rosters here. So, Atlanta has got Simp, Cellium, Abezy, Kenny, and Mox. Want to read off our teams here?
Chicago, Formal, Scump, Priestahh, Hook, 0.
For Dallas, we got Clayster, Crimsix, Arcitys, Asim, and Sensor.
Minnesota's got GodRx, Alex, Envoy, Assault, and Spart.
Paris, we've got Dens, Kismet, Frosty,
I don't know what we got ourselves into here.
And Shocks.
And then for Florida, we got Prestinni, Skies, ILLeY, Karma, and Pander.
London has got Wuskin, Skrapz, Dylan, Luca, and Nastiee.
We need our own like intros. OGLA, we've got Dashy, Slasher, Gunless, Silly, Looney.
I'm sorry.
Okay, and then
I completely
Seattle, we got Seattle's Octane, Apathy, Temp, Enable, and JCap.
Then Toronto's Methods Classics.
Oh, that's about closing time.
Toronto's got Methods, Classic, Shotzzy, Havoc, and Vivid.
And then LA Guerillas, Aqua Blast, Fero, TJ, Metals.
And then for New York, Zuma, Attach, Major Maniac, Slacked, and Brack.
Yep, so that's what it is. I mean, okay, in your guys' opinion, who's the best roster here? Rex, who's the best roster?
Dallas? I can see Dallas doing well. Actually, the best roster.
Nah, man.
It honestly
it's gotta be
probably
Atlanta.
Chicago, maybe.
Sam?
Gosh, I don't. It's the top like 4 or 5 now are like pretty much like
the same.
You could pick any of them. I like Atlanta.
I like Atlanta. I like Chicago. I like Dallas.
Yeah.
I like Dallas.
Yes, of course you like Dallas. It's good.
If you say Dallas and Sensors on that team,
yeah,
because you can see it. There's like, wow, that actually kind of works. It kind of fits the puzzle.
I don't mind Paris. I like Minnesota's a lot. I don't mind. I like Dash. I like Optics.
I'm gonna say
Seattle's is surprisingly interesting, just because like you put Temp on that team with Octane, like that duo could work. But
yeah.
I don't know if there's enough slaying power.
Enable JCap? What?
Enabling.
But here's the thing: you got to imagine, like, it's the vibes that's gonna happen on the team that's gonna make JCap want to play and make Enable want to play.
You hope so.
And Zuma and Attach inherently interest me, but then like Slacked and Brack, I don't know if that's gonna work. So yeah, who's the worst roster in your opinion here still?
LA Guerillas or
it
Toronto?
might be LA
Still?
Guerillas.
Toronto.
I mean,
Guerillas.
they have inherently they start off with two players that are going to be just worse than other teams,
and then no one wants to play with them.
Yeah, so you
So
kind of
it's
get
just
stuck
like,
in a tough spot. So, I mean, these are all pretty real. I mean, we basically worked it out, so it's pretty realistic for the most part for all options. So drop your comments down below for what you guys think are the most interesting teams here, or the team that you think. Give us your best team out of all these and your worst team. What's the most realistic team? Yep. Which team is absolutely outrageous that would never ever happen? Roast us in the comments.
Flame broil.
We appreciate you guys tuning in. Obviously, we're just trying to come up with some new interesting topics to do during this little lull in the COD season while we're waiting for news and information.
If you have any ideas, let us know.
Yeah, if there's any topics you guys want us to cover, we might be doing some throwback stuff in the future here, some interesting drafts that you guys can throw your opinions out on. And we appreciate you guys tuning in. So if you guys enjoyed it, like, comment, favorite, and subscribe. Drop a review on Apple Podcasts. And share the podcast wherever you've been listening. We really do appreciate that. And we are excited to talk more Call of Duty in the future. So as always, guys, I'm Josh, SalvationsElite. To my right is Bash_BO3 Sam. And to our farthest right is Rex, ShadyNero. And we will see you next time. We out.